Imagine a world where the digital revolution never happened. No internet, no smartphones, no social media, no artificial intelligence. Humanity still advances, but the pace is slower, the connections weaker, and the world far less globalized. History would have unfolded in an entirely different way, shaping politics, culture, business, and even human relationships in ways we can barely imagine. Part 1. Communication without instant access. In this alternate timeline, the flow of communication is drastically slower. Letters take days or weeks to arrive. Business deals are finalized by telegram, fax, or in-person meetings. International diplomacy crawls at a snail's pace compared to our reality. Breaking news doesn't break instantly. It reaches people through newspapers, radios, and evening TV reports. Revolutions, wars, and political crises unfold less explosively because mass mobilization takes far longer. Humanity is still connected, but always waiting. Part 2. Business and the global economy. Without digital technology, the economy is far more local. There is no Amazon, no Google, no Facebook. Global supply chains exist but operate on paper records and telephone calls. Stock markets function without real-time trading. Deals are written down. Messengers run between offices, and transactions take hours or days. Banking requires physical presence, with every city dominated by massive archives of paper documents. Instead of Silicon Valley giants, the world's most powerful corporations are postal services, logistics companies, and railroads. Part 3. Education and knowledge without the web. Universities remain the beating heart of knowledge. Libraries expand into massive complexes, storing billions of books and documents. Students spend hours, days, even weeks digging through physical archives. Research takes longer, as scientists must physically mail their findings across continents. Online learning doesn't exist. Distance education is limited to radio or television broadcasts. Scientific breakthroughs arrive decades later because collaboration is painfully slow. The digital age of information becomes the age of waiting. Part 4. Politics and media in the analog world. Without the internet, propaganda looks very different. Governments control information through newspapers, television, and radio. Misinformation spreads, but slower. Rumors take days, not seconds, to circulate. Political movements rise with posters, rallies, and underground print shops rather than viral hashtags. Protests happen, but coordination is clumsy, often crushed before they grow large. At the same time, transparency suffers. Ordinary citizens have few tools to fact-check their leaders. Power belongs to those who own the presses and the airwaves. Part 5. Culture and entertainment without the internet. Without YouTube, TikTok, Netflix, or online gaming, culture evolves along different lines. Movie theaters remain central to entertainment. Families gather around television sets or radios instead of streaming. Music spreads through vinyl, CDs, and cassettes. Video games exist, but they are niche, locked in arcades and consoles, not global communities. Social life revolves around theaters, libraries, and concert halls. The pace is slower, but interpersonal bonds may run deeper. Evenings spent with friends in person, not online. Part 6. Medicine and science in the analog era. Healthcare without digital systems is slower, more fragile, and less connected. Patient records exist only on paper, making diagnosis harder. Genetic research is decades behind. Artificial intelligence never assists doctors. Global pandemics spread without online warnings. By the time newspapers report the crisis, millions are already infected. At the same time, medicine relies heavily on in-person expertise, local doctors becoming the most trusted sources of truth. Progress exists, but it moves painfully slow, leaving humanity more vulnerable. Part 7. War and global conflict without digital tools. Modern warfare depends on satellites, drones, and instant communication. Without digital technology, the military remains stuck in the 20th century. Armies rely on radios, couriers, and physical maps. Nuclear deterrence exists, but without advanced computers, missile systems are less reliable. Wars are bloodier, slower, and fought with massive armies rather than precision strikes. Intelligence agencies rely on spies, not cyber warfare. The Cold War might have dragged on longer, fought with tanks and propaganda instead of firewalls and satellites. Part 8. An alternate 2025. Civilization without the digital age. By 2025, this world looks both familiar and alien. Cities still rise, nations still trade, and culture thrives. But everything is slower, smaller, and less connected. Globalization exists in fragments, limited by analog systems. Human progress lags by decades. The internet never arrives to unify humanity, leaving the world divided, cautious, and localized. Some might say this world is poorer, less innovative, less connected. Others might argue it is richer, with deeper human bonds, slower living, and fewer digital distractions. It is not a worse world or a better one, but a different world. The digital revolution has reshaped our world in just a few decades. Without it, we would still have civilization, but a slower, less global, more analog one. History would unfold with patience, not speed. Science would crawl. Politics would dominate through paper and radio. And our daily lives would be filled with waiting, not scrolling. What do you think? Would humanity be stronger or weaker without the digital age? Would you prefer a slower analog world or the hyper-connected one we live in today? If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share your own vision of a world without the internet in the comments below.